Hey guys, Robert Henry, Survival Report. Always good to have options. Multiple options, especially when it comes to something as important as water. One of the things we did not too long ago is we had multiple wells put in on our site. I believe I've showed one of them on video before, a dedicated deep well hand pump. You can actually pump water with a hand pump from a heavy, a long distance. Our head here to hit the, or static level to hit water here in this area of the aquifer. I'm not sure I'm using the correct term there, head or static level. Anyway, is roughly about 200 feet. And one of the ways we can get water is with a dedicated hand pump, and we will probably complete another one here before too long as well, a little closer to the house. Another one serves near garden areas and near some animals, which is nice because in a complete grid down EMP type deal, if we had to use that, it would beat the crap out of carrying water for another 100 yards. But what we're fixing to drop today is a solar submersible, a sun pumps solar submersible. We're going to pump into this tank right here, which is a 550-gallon tank. And we're going to tee off right there and head over to that little orchard and hit some drip irrigation with that. Probably end up boosting it coming out of the tank and to get a little bit more water pressure so that we can hit some rainbird type sprinklers, and also probably go back to one of the dwellings from here as well. It's a 4-inch casing, which is kind of small, but you can do a lot with that. We're using the 1/2-inch flex pipe that Sun Pump has provided here as well. And seems like a really small pipe, but it says in their literature that due to friction loss and this, that, and the other, it's advisable to use a smaller pipe or whatever. We're using a Sun Pumps controller right here. You can see I got the power in there as well already from a MX60 235 watt panel that is providing our power for this. So we shall see how it works. I'll shoot a little bit more video once water's coming out of the ground. But so far so good. I've done my spot, and a couple folks are coming to help me do their end of it as well, as I've never actually dropped a pump in the ground like this before, so this ought to be interesting. I'll either be ending the video cussing and lamenting the loss of $1,000 or something, or I'll be happy as I'll get out and that got water flowing through here. So power is gonna come from the panel through the charge controller. It's gonna drop into the submersible pump, which will go down there. And I believe we're hitting water on this one about 180 to 200 feet. It's so hard to tell, just lowering a tape measure down or, doing the little drop the rock and count type of thing. I'm not very good at that sort of stuff. So just estimating it exactly where it's going to hit. And I believe the Sun Pumps literature says that you can't drop it more than 50 feet under the water level. So we probably, being that we get good recharge with the aquifer here, we probably won't bother putting it that deep under the water line. At 1.8 gallons per minute, it's extremely low volume that's producing, so we could probably set it just below the water surface and never have a problem with that. We'll report back on that later. So very excited about getting this done. We'll pump up to that tank. We'll have some more and some options outside of our other options for our water storage, and then we'll tee off like right there and go to drip, so we'll be able to hit a good maybe quarter or more of our irrigation needs, and have another source right here for the animals. You can see this right next to a chicken pen and things like that. So this is cased all the way down, so it's not a shallow well. So the chances of 6 or 7 birds or a dozen birds that hang out in that pen creating a problem for the well is extremely minimum. We're into the aquifer here. It's not a shallow well, so we're not going to get bird poop in there and all that good stuff as well for folks watching. That I'm sure that would be the first thing that was mentioned. But anyway, we will show you this working hopefully here in just a little bit. And this is what we'll be dropping in, a Sun Pumps SEST 128. And still have a little bit to finish here with the installation. Got to clean it up a little bit and clean up the wires and all that good stuff. But here is some water flowing. It's mid-afternoon, probably about 4:45, and we are pretty good past peak of sun for this location for the day, but it's still chugging out. Not quite as much as it was even 30 minutes ago. But we'll check the flow. We'll show the flow again to tomorrow, and we'll look at other options here as well too. But it's in, it's working, and we're going to do a couple more like these. And again, always good to have various options. So one well that we run off of a generator, and can run off standard power as well, and then a couple of hand pump wells. And then a well like this, and soon to be added another one or two possibly like this as well too. So always good to have options with your water. Well, we're at the 5-minute mark, and the bucket's roughly half full or half empty, depending on your outlook on life. Anyway, there is a boatload of shading right now on the panel, so we'll try this again later in the afternoon with full sun, and we'll see if we can get a little bit better measurement. We're still not completed with everything. We still have a little bit of the install to clean up a little bit. Just showing a couple different setups we've run with the solar pump install. Here is the tank getting filled, and the overflow, going into a bucket, just to give you a little demonstration of how fast it can roll. And this is an extremely overcast day. I'll show you the sun here in just a minute, but just one way to set it up. We've also teed off on the ground there where we can head out toward the orchards with the drip irrigation, and just looking at some different options and how to do this and things like that. Again, this is not our only well, this is not our only water source. This is one of several, and more or less dedicated to cover some of the irrigation needs on this side, some of the animals and things like that. But we may eventually tie all the water systems together, so they can hit the houses and various things like that as well too. Very cold out today, very, very overcast, but it's still getting some water pumping, so I'm happy with it.